Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Today I am going to review one of the most popular fitness hybrids on the market, the Trek FX2 disc. So what is the Trek FX2 disc? This is a fitness hybrid, which means it's designed for training, longer rides, sport in general, community rides, mini triathlon, but it's also very capable as a commuter. And a lot of people choose this as a urban use commuter. Why? Because it has many features that I will go over, and I will also share my opinion about every single part on this bike, its overall quality, and whether it's worth upgrading or changing. I will also leave some links in the description to the replacement or upgrading parts that I believe will make this bike even better. So let's get to it. The Trek FX2 comes with one of the nicest frames at this price point. This is the Alpha Gold aluminum, and overall the welding quality is very good. The shape is very appealing. The paint is really high quality compared to other companies, and overall very good fit and finish. The next part is the fork. This is a straight fork and it's aluminum. It has a rack mount, which is a nice feature on bikes at this price point. So let's move on to the other parts. So the best feature of this bike is by far the hydraulic brakes. The FX2 disc comes with a basic Tektro hydraulic brake. The specific model is the HD R280. It also comes with a 160 millimeter rotor, which is pretty standard these days. This brake is fairly strong, definitely stronger than mechanical brakes, what you would see on the FX1, for example. This is not a downhill brake. This is not as strong as a mountain bike brake. This is strictly for riding in the city, on straight roads, but it does have really strong stopping power. It does not need a lot of maintenance. Maybe every 2,000-3,000 miles it might need to be bled. The pads are readily available, and overall you will be pretty happy with the stopping power of this. Again, this is not a super strong brake, but for what this bike is intended to be used as, this is a very nice feature to have. The next part would be the hubs. This is a basic hub. This is an entry-level hub. It's not extremely smooth, and it's a loose bearing hub. It needs to be maintained over time, needs to be rebuilt every maybe 2,000-3,000 miles, but overall pretty good. Let's move on. Oh, one more thing is this. The Trek has the through skew system, which allows for really easy mounting and dismounting of the front wheel. The next thing I want to talk about is the wheels. This has the Bontrager double wall wheels. Pretty standard, very strong, but again, strong for city use, for road use. This is not designed to go off-roading with, or what we call leave the ground. You have to be careful with potholes and any uneven ground. The other part is the tire. The tire is probably the weakest point on this bike, apart from the pedals, which I'll talk about them soon. This is a very, very simple tire. It's a 30 TPI, not really high quality. They're also really susceptible to flats, in my experience. I would recommend replacing this as soon as possible with either flat resistant tires for pavement use, if that's what you're intending to use this for, or if you are planning to ride this on dirt roads or packed dirt, any fire roads or trails of that sort, I would recommend you change this to a knobby tire, something like mountain bike tread, cyclocross style. I will leave a link in the description to both of these tires, the flat resistant pavement and the more off-road style tire. All right, let's talk about the cockpit. The cockpit on this bike is one of the best features. This has a 31/8 handlebar clamp and obviously a stem to fit that, and this creates for a very, very stiff cockpit. It's a huge upgrade from the FX1. Some bikes at this price point don't have it, and this used to be a high-end feature, and this is a great feature to have on this specific bike. It creates for a very stiff very stiff handling. You're not losing energy when you're putting force on the pedal, when you're pedaling hard. Just an overall nice feature to have. The grips are also kind of a weak point. These are very simple grips. After a while they get really gummy unless you wear gloves, and if you leave it outside they get dirty and they become really soft. The higher end models of the FX come with a more ergonomic design, much more sturdy. I will leave a link in the description for something that I like and I use. Very nice grips. Nice grips on this bike, but can definitely be better. I also want to talk about the headset. This is equipped with a threadless sealed bearing headset, which is a really nice feature. A lot of bikes come today with loose bearing headsets, and this is a really nice feature to have. Let's talk about the shifters. This is the 3x8 Shimano M310 Altus. Well made, been on the market for a while, refined, shifts very smoothly, and lasts a long time. The drivetrain. This is the Acera model, basic model. It's pretty good. After a while, it starts to not shift as smoothly. They are pretty good. They would last you a couple thousand miles. After a while, they are not as good, and then they need to be. It's hard to adjust them. But overall a good unit. Also the chain is very good. It's a KMC Z7, well made, nice to have on a bike like this. The cassette, it's a 1132 8-speed cassette, long. This is the standard range on this type of bikes. This has really high gears and low gears. You can climb everything. You can go pretty fast on this. Basic cassette, but it's Shimano, not Sunrace or any other part. Really nice to have. The crankset is a bit disappointing, but it's not bad. It's a steel chain rings, they're a bit soft, and it's an aluminum crank arm. The chain guard is pretty strong. Overall, a good unit. Could be better, but not bad. I would say the disappointing part on this drivetrain is the front derailleur, and this is the Tourney model. It could have easily been replaced with the Altus model, which is significantly better, even though it's just one model above. They shift much better, and they last much longer. Another thing I want to talk about is the pedals. These pedals are one of the weakest points on this bike. The Trek decided to go with these flat mounted. They're heavy, they're weak, and they really don't grip so well. I would replace this immediately with something much stronger, either stronger plastic pedals with better bearings, which is usually what fails on this type of pedals, or even aluminum pedals. Again, I would leave a link in the description for much better quality pedals. The saddle. This is a very nice saddle. It's more on the sporty side because, again, this is a fitness hybrid. You might find it a bit too tough. I would recommend replacing this with something softer, something thicker, with better cushioning if you are planning for longer rides. And overall, a nice saddle, but if you're taking this, if you decide more for like leisure, maybe longer rides, I would replace it with a softer saddle, maybe something wider. And again, I'll leave a link in the description for one of my favorite saddles. DuoTrap is a built-in computer system. Unfortunately, it only works with Trek computers. It's nice to have. This is what the commuter version of this bike looks like. You can see fenders on it. You can see a nice rack. I know these fenders, they're not that sturdy. I like a different version of these full fenders. Again, I'll have a link of my favorite fender. Also, a version slightly more refined rack system. This is not bad, but there's better ones on the market. And you'll find in the description something that I like better than this. But this is what it looks like, and that's why this bike is so capable. So, overall, what do I think about this bike? This is a really, really good choice. Trek, obviously, is the #1 selling company in the world. They have a phenomenal warranty, and usually they have good dealers that service these bikes and sell them. If you're deciding between the FX1, FX2, this is definitely worth the leap. It has all the added value that the FX1 doesn't have, and it has some nice features for this price point. Just like everything else, you can get better parts, but overall as a package, this is one of the best packages on the market, and I would definitely recommend it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And until next time, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.